What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope that you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday evening. So, Kim K and Kris Jenner are suing Ray J for defamation. Let's go ahead and get into it. It says Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner are fed up with Ray J, claiming that they're the subject of a federal criminal racketeering investigation. So, they're suing him for defamation. Kim and Kris say that this is just the latest in a decades-long campaign that Ray J has waged against them. The lawsuit filed by Alex Spiro says that Ray is, quote, unable to accept the end of his fleeting relationship with Ms. Kardashian over 20 years ago. Now he's unable to accept the relationship. She married and divorced Kanye. He married and divorced Princess Love. What is going on? They say that he has repeatedly exploited their prominence for personal gain. I'm sorry. Um, what? Now here's the thing. I didn't see the infamous tape between Kim and Ray J, but it's a huge part of pop culture. It's what literally put her on the map. So if anybody was really exploited, because Kris was the mastermind behind all of that. Most of the time, or one would think that if you're a mother and you have a daughter who has an intimate tape with her boyfriend at the time, the last thing that you would want is to, I wouldn't say she leaked it, but not protect her daughter during such an intimate, vulnerable moment, right? Like, and this was like way back when, before everybody was, marketing their own tapes. I think when Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee had theirs leaked, which was actually by mistake, and it blew up. Like, she was mortified, and they were married. You know what I'm saying? They were both grown and married. So, um, yeah, this is crazy. This is 20 years ago. They both, had kids and had spouses and divorces, and this is ridiculous. The lawsuit specifically mentions TMZ's Tubi documentary, United States versus Sean Combs. Oh, Lord, not Diddy. Where Ray says the RICO charges against the Kardashians would be appropriate. He says, quote, if you told me the Kardashians was being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. That comment in the documentary was designed to plant the seed, according to Kim and Kris, but they say that he ratcheted things up during a September 24th live stream with Christian Rock, where they say that Ray falsely declared the feds had launched an investigation into the Kardashians. Ray claimed, quote, the feds is coming and there's nothing I can do about it. It's worse than Diddy. I mean, okay. By the way, Kim and Kris also say that this isn't Ray J's first time telling lies about other celebrities. For example, he made claims months ago about having intimate relations with Sexy Red. Now, how do they know it was that wasn't true? Were they there? Because one thing I can say about Ray J, I mean, from everybody, from Whitney Houston to Kim to, he has quite a rap sheet. I mean, Ray J got around back in his time. He still might, even to this day. How do they know that there's no truth to him being with Sexy Red? They don't know that. She ended up hopping in his DMs after his comments took off. She shared a screenshot of their convo, in which Ray J says, in part, I'm just playing. I'm always trolling. I love you. Sorry if you're mad at me. That's another thing, too, right? I don't take the things that Ray J says with more than a grain of salt. Like, he is somebody who, like he said, he's always trolling. He stays just I was gonna say talking out the side of his neck. I'm trying not to use that often. I hope this doesn't get dinged, but I say that all the time. But he does. He's a like a little brother. I know he's Brandy's little brother, but he acts like, even still his big age, he's still in that arrested development mindset where he's an internet troll. He's always trolling people. He's always, starting a mess. Like I remember, Kai Cenat, who is in his 20s, but he's a pretty famous streamer. Ray J was saying that he was mad that he wasn't invited to spend the night and that he wasn't invited to like shower with him. And it was just like really weird. Like Ray J is always, saying stuff and apologizing to people. You know who he reminds me of? Tamar. Tamar Braxton, right? The youngest sibling, just over the top, dramatic. Like I don't take the things that Tamar says with more than a grain of salt either because they are so desperate for attention. Like, I don't know, because I'm the oldest sibling. So if I wasn't watching and babysitting other people's kids, I like to be left alone. Like, or I can always find stuff to do, but I was never that like starved for attention where I was, like I was just, to be honest, parentified. I always had, responsibilities. And so when I was away from, people or other people's kids or whatever, I was chilling. But I feel like, you know, him and Tamar and other people who are like the youngest in their family, and maybe it's because, they're the youngest, right? Like typically the youngest gets away with, just being playful and happy go lucky and, because they have the older parents who are less strict. But they are just so, I don't want to say like starved for attention, but always just overly dramatic and just I'm just like, oh my gosh, like Sonia and Willie Norwood, what was y'all doing? I know y'all was invested. I know especially Sonia, she was invested in Brandy's career, but I'm like somebody should have paid that child some attention. Similarly to Tamar, I'm like, my goodness, today, like Tony, yes, we understand she was the star of the family. And that's the other thing. The oldest girls, they get it done. Brandy's the oldest girl, so is Tony. They're the superstars of the family. But it's like the younger ones, I don't know if they're trying to compete or what, but that's exactly who he reminds me of. So he says, sorry if you're mad at me. And Tamar always apologizes too. You know what? They should get together and they could give each other the attention that they need, all the apologies and all the internet, you know, dramatics. They could keep it off the World Wide Web and give it to each other. I feel like it would just be a match made in, youngest sibling heaven. Alex Shapiro tells TMZ, he says Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian, hold on, this article keeps jumping, has never brought a defamation claim before, nor have they ever been distracted by noise. But this false and serious allegation left no choice. The lawsuit asked for an unspecified, okay, so this is a money grab too, because they know Ray J got it, punitive damages. In response to the suit, Ray J tells TMZ that, quote, I will not be silenced. So here's the thing too, right? Money is tight for everybody. Um, one thing I can say about like Beyonce and Cardi B and a lot of the girls out there, we ain't heard from Mariah Carey in I don't even know how long, and she's putting out new music. That is a recession indicator. That is a recession indicator. Do you hear me? Beyonce is on tour every single year, but not only that, she has, all these products out. She has her whiskey line. She has a sacred, hairline. She has Ivy Park, the clothing line. And, like I said, she, in the last video, she got, the kids on stage, Blue Ivy working hard, managing everybody. Rumi is on stage twirling. Listen, the Carters are getting it done. Jay-Z is putting Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl, making everybody I hope he goes up there and doesn't speak a word of English, okay? Shout out to Puerto Rico. Um, but I'm saying all that to say that they have multiple streams of income. Now, what I can say is Kris Jenner and her being the mastermind that she is after her, husband Robert died and that insurance money started to dry up, she married Bruce, who ended up turning into Caitlyn Jenner. But, she put those girls to work again, not like the Carters, but she had everybody, Kim with her, well, initially that tape again is what put them on the map. Um, but she had everybody, the Kardashians keeping up with the Kardashians. Kylie is the one who blew up, or was that Kendall? Kendall is the one with the makeup brand, and now she's a billionaire. Kim is a billionaire with her Skims line. But I'm thinking either those expenses are starting to outweigh, the income, revenue streams. But it sounds like it's a money grab to me. It may not be, but it sounds like it is, because they're not only going just for punitive, they're also going for um, compensatory damages. So they want both, and it's unspecified. So they want a piece of Ray J's, tech pie, because he is big into tech. He's done very well for himself, despite being a loudmouth and an internet troll and dramatic or whatever. But he's still, a smart businessman in that regard. So they are probably like, well, if you're going to talk about us, you're going to pay us, because the Kardashians are about their coin. So, Ray J, I hope that you learn from this. You know, whether or not you have to pay money or not, because you're talking about I will not be silenced. Well, if you go to court, like I said, I hope that you learn and grow from this, because how long are we going to do this? It's been 20 years. Just don't even say anything about the Kardashians. You know what I mean? Just pay them dust and move on. I feel like almost every man that has gotten with the Kardashians has not been right ever since. You know, Lamar Odom, bless his heart. Kanye West, bless him, Jesus. Tristan Thompson, child, just Ray J, if you know, like I know, focus on your business. I don't know if you're going to have to cut them a check or not. That you'll have to fight that in court. But lawsuits are not only, financially draining, but they also take up a lot of people's time. And it's like, like I said, I hope that you learn from this and don't say anything about them in the future moving forward. But you guys, let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.